So let me move us on to Airbnb really quickly because there was some news / non-news this week that I think Natasha was a huge fan of. So let me explain what's going on. They've filed to go public, but they've filed to go public privately. So they've confidentially decided to tell us publicly that they're not going to tell us their numbers, but they are going to go public and tell us their numbers eventually. So it's a non-news news thing, but they're going to go public. Yay. I feel like at this point, I just want it to happen. I feel like I've got...
I was gonna say I have trust issues with Airbnb, and literally when they filed yesterday, I think I didn't even blink. I was like, "This is happening, sure, maybe." But weren't there also rumors that it was going direct? There was the direct listing route last week. Well, it's a rumor, right?
Well, so it was supposed to go direct listing originally. I mean, if you go back to like late 2019, they said we're going to go public in 2020, and everyone kind of knew it was going to be a direct listing. Bloomberg is now reporting that it's going to be a traditional IPO, not a direct listing, which I think makes sense. Danny, they raised $2 billion in capital in the last 6 months, and it was pretty expensive. So if you're going to go public, you probably want to get a chunk of cheese and slice that off. That was my cheddar analogy for money. I don't think it worked that well. Anyways, I'm not shocked that they're going to raise actual cash in this IPO. That makes sense to me. They just had a really rough time. I mean, you probably just want to have the cash for safety, security, and just sleeping well at night.
Do we know they're not raising cash? I'm sorry.
No, they are going to. So they're expected to now pursue traditional IPO, not a direct listing, unlike Asana.
I actually literally don't know this. It's the same filing for a direct listing as a traditional IPO. Couldn't they just switch at some point?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And that's where
we're
sort
of guessing, but like the S1 is the same regardless. They just fill in the little blanks in the form with different numbers. So I think it's still up in the air. I mean, my guess is a traditional IPO makes more sense given the turbulence in the last two quarters. They're going to need to talk to people much more carefully and sell a story and a yarn to convince people that everything's okay, particularly given that yesterday Airbnb banned parties at all their properties, which one has to admit, like, you're going to do an IPO and there's no party available at the IPO party, I guess, or at least they'll have to be at the Hilton or something.
Do you think that Airbnb executives are renting out pedestrian Airbnbs to host the Airbnb